Good day, guys! Today I'm going to conduct a literature analysis by the story entitled Frankenstein by Mary Shelley. Mary Shelley was born on August 30, 1797 on London, England, who wrote the Gothic novel entitled Frankenstein, and she is best known for that story. Now, here are the 3 facts about Mary Shelley and her story Frankenstein. First is, Mary Shelley published Frankenstein in 1818 when she was just 21 years old. When the first novel was published, there were lots of reviews bashing and criticizing the premise of the novel. But despite of being bashed and critiqued by some reviewers at the time, Frankenstein became hit among readers who love Gothic novel that quickly became a classic piece of literature. Second is, Mary Shelley's inspiration for writing a Frankenstein came from a nightmare. Mary Shelley had a nightmare during one dreary night where the content of her dream is how would it become to be a Victor Frankenstein, and there she compelled herself to write more of that story. And third is, Mary Shelley originally published Frankenstein anonymously. When the novel first published, Mary Shelley did not attach her name to the story, and that what makes the story considered as anonymously written. Now, here are the characters of the story. First is the main character of the story named Victor Frankenstein, a doomed protagonist and a narrator of the main portion of the story. He is the scientist who happened to create a monster where he never took the responsibility of it, and the latter just took a revenge from him. And the second main character is the monster, the 8-foot-tall, hideously ugly creation of Victor Frankenstein. He is intelligent and sensitive. The monster attempts to integrate himself into the human social patterns, but all who sees him just disgust him, and that's what makes him compels himself or to seek revenge against his creator. And the side characters are Alphonse or Alphonse Frankenstein, the father of Victor, Elizabeth Lavenza, an orphan, and Henry Clerval, a boyhood friend of Victor. Now, in the summary of the story, it begins with Victor being thirsty with experiment and invention, accompanied by his ingenious will and abnormal intelligence that he successfully created a total monster by appearance. Now, with a feeling of terror, Victor ran away carrying the anxious of regret and fear of thinking that his own invention might kill him eventually. So what he does, he ran away leaving the creature behind him and being back to his family. Yet Victor didn't even knew the fact that the creature had been following and watching him from afar behind the woods. The creature had been with him on a far trace of his past with its desire of being friend and close to his own inventor. Yet that nature and longing of his monster that Victor had failed to see and acknowledge led him to his most tragic version of life. It starts when the creature asks Victor to give him a wife that would accompany him for the rest of his life, but Victor refuses to give him that. So that triggers to make the creature angry and took the revenge by killing Victor's people close to his heart. And the story ends up at the ship when Victor died and the creature visited his body and realizes the mistakes to have done to his creator and eventually decided to kill himself as he had no reason to live anymore. First is personal responsibility is also a social responsibility. Never run for a responsibility because it might trigger or affect the entire society. Second is don't judge the book by its cover. We don't have to prejudice a person only basing on its physical appearance because a person is not and more than what we see through them. Third is, we should see and acknowledge the feeling of a person regardless of its physical appearance, race, creed, history, and personality because I believe understanding and transparency is the key for a better social relationship. Why you should read the story? Simply because, aside from its versatile quality of the story and its wonderful plot, The lesson you will get from here are emblematic and applicable in your lives, as you will realize something wrongdoings you have done previously that must be changed into something good for the present. And that's my entire literature analysis of the story entitled Frankenstein by Mary Shelley. Thank you.